lights and things and the lovely long school holidays, uh, you get all of these back to school pop-up reminders wherever you turned. Oh my word. And for me it was torture. um, I don't know how you
Really,
felt about it.
yes, don't we all? Didn't we all just hate it? Didn't we all just hate it? I think the only thing is, putting on a nice, fresh, crisp shirt, and brand new socks in it. I think that was motivation to get to school because everything was new. The
Absolutely,
clothes, everything felt
absolutely.
new. So that was our school memories, and that is why. When I spoke to my children when I was doing these interviews for back to school, and my daughter Yasira said, "Mommy, my favorite memory of going back to school is a little tradition that I had done with my kids when they go back. So the last day before the school, on the eve of school opening, I used to have an early supper. I used to tell Dad to come home early from work. At about 5:30, I used to let them choose a place to go and eat. So we used to go out
Wow.
for coffee, supper, to set the scene that we love them. And we're doing this
Mm,
just as it's pleasurable to go out for supper with the family. We sending you to school not because we want to punish you, because we want to give you the best start in life, and hence that is why we do that. So I used to take them for the supper, and we used to have milkshakes, and we used to laugh and everything, and then come home. They showered early, get everything ready, and I used to tell them the school is not, think of it as what we've saved for holiday, and we've took you on a nice holiday, and this is what we want to give. This is a legacy for you, and make them understand this, that it's something that should be sought after and valued.
to prepare them for life, right? It's the beginning of your preparation for the rest of your life. And if you do well at school, you are going to be that better, well prepared to take on life once you enter the adult world. And just to go back a step, Miriam, I must say to you, my hubby and I decided to go out to go and have a late lunch, early supper yesterday. Just because, sometimes you just want to indulge. And we decided we're going out for this late lunch, early supper. And when we got to the restaurant, we were very pleasantly surprised to see, we didn't expect it though, the place was really very full with lots of kiddies. And I said to my husband, and he wondered why. He said, it's school tomorrow. And I said, I think parents are treating their kids to a lovely meal and preparing them to go back to school in the right frame of mind. You are loved. We've had a lovely holiday together, and now it's back to school, but you must embrace it like you embrace the holidays as well.
Absolutely. And also, for me, when I started many years ago at university, and the definition of education, and that's what we need to look at it. It's to lead a child towards responsible adulthood. Nothing about learning content and how we get there, but the operative word is you leading a child. You guiding a child in where, what's the direction, responsible adulthood, so that they are equipped then to be able to face the challenges of adulthood, not only face the challenges, but become the positive contributing members of society in whatever field they choose. It's about contributing positively to society and making their mark and leading their legacy. So this is a training ground. And over the years, the way of education, the type of education has changed. And I'm so pleased. COVID also was a catalyst for this, because now it's not only institutionalized education whereby you go into school. I mean, there are families that have blended learning, that elected for blended learning, online learning, a homeschool environment, a smaller learning center environment. So education is dynamic, education is evolving, and many parents have embraced and come to understand there's not only one size fits for all. So your one child might be in an educational institution, a normal schooling as we know it, but your other child might require a smaller class, or circumstances dictate that they do online or blended learning, or in a different type of an educational environment. So my advice is parents thus yet embrace the changes and the different type of educational environments you find yourself. And remember that operative word, helping the child, leading the child towards responsible adulthood, very much aligned to your family values and your set of belief system. So that is important because we need to guide our children not according to what government or society dictates for them, but according to our norms and our values, our belief systems. And this is important. And also the other thing is about life skills. I think we now need to stop being our children's PAs, where we packing the school bags, packing the extracurricular bags, making sure it's all in the car, or getting our house help, our domestics to make sure everything is there. Responsibility is an important life skill, and let our children run their own diary, their own schedule, their own calendar. 1-2 times they're going to forget, they're going to be reprimanded, and then they're going to remember. It's not the end of the world. Life is a good teacher and and teaches us a good lesson. So this year, focus on allowing our children to develop essential life skills. Everything from independence to application of learning content that is taught. And also, when we do learning support, tuition and learning support is not a crutch. Allow your child the opportunity to then engage with the school when they're finding difficulties, and only as a last resort, not go to school and then thereafter you loaded with tuition. That's not the point. So I think maybe we need to frame our minds as adults as well as parents, as guardians, in terms of what do we want out of our child's education at the end of the day. And also, you know what, education includes physical education, relaxing the mind as well, getting the body to train. So those extracurriculars, or the extra you do, the sports or the arts and crafts or the other cultural activities, volunteer activities, that is all part of education. So please, if we're just going to have school and then thereafter loaded with tuition and then madrasa, and that is when it's time for the mind to relax, for the body to work out and release endorphins, to then reduce the stress, to be happy, and also volunteering and that type of work in community service is an important part of life in education. So we need to allow opportunities for our children to engage in as much educational experience for adulthood as possible.
So, Miriam, you've really shared a lot of information with us. I'm wondering, a couple of years ago, when I was presenting the lifestyle show, I focused a lot back in the day. I probably am going back 5 years or even a little longer than that. There was this terminology going around, and you will be very familiar with it being in the ECD space. They were talking about tiger moms and helicopter moms. I don't know if that
Mhm.
terminology, if that terminology is still relevant. What
So,
does that do to
okay,
our
to me, I must
children?
confess, for many years, I must confess, I was there for many years. I was a
Okay.
helicopter parent, and so at one time I was the tiger mom. That I was my children need to have the A's and they need to produce at that level, and it was and then I was a helicopter parent hovering over. So the helicopter parents, for those who don't understand, just like a helicopter hovers and has the ability to hover above everything and just blow everything off in its direction. And I mean, if you're standing in the vicinity of a helicopter, it's the most uncomfortable, unpleasant feeling. So that is
Mm,
what a helicopter parent is. I don't know. I don't want to only say it's moms. So I put parent and guardian there. So this is what happens, and it's a great disservice when we are that type of parents. We need to find a balance. Yes, supervision for our children and guiding them. That is essentially our role in facilitation. So we need to do that, because then you get parents that are very relaxed. So we have to find the middle ground, supervise, but also allow your child some space, and also show them you have the confidence that they can manage on their own. So we need to find the balance. And yes, as long as our children are working to their potential, everybody's aptitude and skill set, Allah has gifted everybody in a different way, in different domain. Unfortunately, the schooling system in terms of rewards and accolades, is very orientated to confined to examinations. So, I mean, if your child is mastered the learning content, mastered the art of answering the exam questions, those are the children that are going to have all the accolades in it. But if somebody who was a 30% child and throughout the year they've come now with a 65% in the report, very, very few schools unfortunately acknowledge this tremendous growth in progress. But if somebody has an aptitude, was an A student and they produced all the A's, even though it was just an increase by from 80 to 81%, you showered with all these accolades and that, but we don't recognize. So for me, if you have progress within your capacity and potential, and maybe your gift is somewhere else, your gift is in the art, your gift is in public speaking, your talent is maybe in cooking or baking or things like that, or in an art of craft. That so basically your accolades at school is no determination how you're going to uh, 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 how you're going to contribute positively to society and what type of a person you're going to be, and in terms of who are you going to be and make waves in later in life. So, those reward system for me is very, very fickle and very narrow-minded. So parents, please, yes, be a imam in wanting to find your child's aptitude. Let them find what they need and the gift is that Allah has given each human being, and let's nurture that. And let's not focus on those narrow citations and accolades that are there at school.
Okay, Miriam, I have a gazillion more questions for you, but our next guest is on standby. Can I please ask you to allow us some time tomorrow? And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to raise with you tomorrow. And it's very important we do it tomorrow. We can't leave it off for a later stage because we're already into the start of the new school year. I want to talk about how is it that parents or even teachers realize that the child is not living up to their full potential. How do we deal with troubled youth? What is the different dynamics involved? How do parents and teachers get together to work out a plan for this child going forward? Because there's nothing worse than a child who is not an outright academic, being in a class full of very bright sparks, and I think his self-worth and self-esteem erodes all of the time, to a point where he feels totally hopeless and worthless. So can I please ask you to make time available for us tomorrow to chat about this very
Can,
important issue?
I can, the listeners and yourself, please indulge me in that. Can we do this on Friday? I have an appointment tomorrow early morning, so as
Okay,
much as I love to
all
do
right.
this, let's leave it for Friday. Let's just also let parents and learners settle into the first 2 days of
Inshallah.
school. How's
Okay,
that?
I'm not here on
Inshallah,
Friday. I'm not here on Friday, but we'll pick up on Monday if you don't mind.
inshallah, inshallah.
Okay, you go well. Thank you indeed for your input. And of course, guys, sorry to remind you once again, it is back to school. Mariam, till Monday morning, as always, go well. Keep us in your du'as and salamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
9:53 exactly. My next guest is on standby, and that, of course, is you, Caroline Peters, Executive Director of the Callas Foundation. You're also GBV activist. We'll join up with you in literally a minute. Please stand by.